Alright, here goes nothing. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. Think we have a live connection, unlike this morning. Some late afternoon arrivals at Kaagbaan. There are 3 queens expected shortly before 8 p.m. 2 of them are expected to land on this runway. The third one, I think, is going to land on 36 right. First airplane to arrive is an A320 from EasyJet arriving from Manchester. And we have a Chinese triple behind it. Good afternoon, one and all. Happy Sunday. Hope everybody's doing well. So, this morning I tried to start the stream and I got a timeout. Ecamm Live, the software I'm using, could not connect to the internet. I got errors saying that I should check my internet connection, and my modem was working, my browser was working. I could do everything except start a stream. Now, of course, I did what everybody in IT tells you to do. Tried turning everything off and on again. Didn't help. So, had to abort this morning. Went back home. Connected to the internet at home. Same issue. So I really think that there was a server issue or something with the manufacturer of the software, Ecamm Live. Around 2 o'clock, it worked again. Tested extensively at home, both with my modem that I use in the field and with my home internet, and I was able to start private streams, so seemed that the issue was resolved. Had a look on flight radar, saw that 3 747s were expected between 6 and 8 p.m, so I figured it's nice weather, it's nice and warm, daylight is still until after 9 p.m, so why not go out, do a little short evening stream. China Southern Cargo arriving from Guangzhou, something like that. And Dirk asks if I have Ziggo. No, it's KPN, both my internet at home and the internet that I'm using out in the field. It's KPN. And Mats, it was a nice reception, absolutely. Thank you for asking. Did not spend a lot of time talking to my direct relatives, but the relatives of the wife of my nephew. But still, it was nice. Alright, well, the next airplane to arrive, by the looks of it, is still a bit out. ITA Airways, arriving from Rome. We have another Chinese triple over there. Cargo doors are no longer open, so maybe it is going to get pushed back pretty soon. Oh, zoom the other way around. And that Chinese triple is going to come this way. Hey Lorenzo, good to see ya. Yeah, do send some cargo lugs over. We can use them. Not sure if there are a lot of 747s parked already. Doesn't look that busy from where I'm standing. FedEx 757. Looking further towards the petroleum tanks, not a lot to be seen. The so-called Zuidas, the South Business Center of Amsterdam in the background, the high-rises. And there's the Chinese triple coming back. I hope so too, Hank. For the time being, it seems to be working. Fingers crossed it's going to stay that way. Hey there, Peter, good afternoon. Jordi asks, what's your favorite airplane? Well, from the contemporary passenger airplanes, I think the A350 and the A220. Going a bit more classical, the 747 obviously is also one of my favorites. Hey Ewald, goedemiddag. Tom, goedemiddag. Dr. Vledderveen, goedemiddag. Good afternoon. So there's an A320 from ITA coming this way, and it is approaching from the vicinity of Amsterdam. I'm wondering if I can see it already. I'm looking to the right a little bit to see if I can spot it. Big picture wise, we have mostly blue skies. A few friendly clouds are forming. Don't think we're going to see any rain. We have a nice little breeze. (26C), so 72F approximately. Let's see, where was that? Chinese triple, there it is. Hey Wolfgang. Hey Afrodita. Chinese triple is coming this way. Andre, thank you so much for your beautiful words. This channel is amazing. Bom dia, welcome. Tuning in from all the way from Brazil. And also a massive big thank you to the Flight Deck Live, who says, sorry to hear about the problems, but those of us in the US are happy to have a later stream so we can enjoy it. Yeah, that's the silver lining. I am a bit worried about how busy it is compared with earlier in the day. Don't think we're seeing so much traffic as in the morning hours, but there is always a rush hour of heavies arriving from Asia around local dinner time. If you look on flight radar, filter for inbound AMS, you will see that there are a few underway. Now the downside is that although Kaagbaan runway 06, the one we are standing next to, is the only runway for arrivals right now, 36 right is expected to open up again, probably also during that rush hour. Vince asks, my dad lands in 2 hours and 35 minutes, will you still be live? Yeah, I think so. My plan is to stick around until the KLM 747 that is arriving from Miami has landed. I thought its ETA was 7:50 p.m. as I checked flight radar before going out, so that is in, what is it, 2.5 hours or so from now? Should still be around then. What flight is your dad on? Yeah, it's night owling time for the viewers in Down Under. Finnair A350 fan pointing out that it is already 1:14 a.m. Your Monday has begun. Oh, that is your dad. Is your dad one of the pilots of the KLM 747? Well, how convenient. Hey there, Keanu. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. Yeah, well, I did not solve anything. It happened spontaneously, which makes me all the more think that it was an issue with the provider of the... Meanwhile, K4 just put on the flashlights and gave me a wave. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I think it had to do with the servers of Ecamm Live temporarily not being available or something, because my internet was working. And the odd thing is, I was able to connect to YouTube via Ecamm Live, because I also cancelled the original stream and thought maybe if I schedule another one it'll work. I was able to schedule a second stream, but I wasn't able to connect it. So don't know why. I assume that the connection goes via one of the servers of Ecamm Live and not just directly through YouTube, because I was able to connect to YouTube to schedule that second stream and cancel the first one. Anyway, it was the first time since I've been using the program and since I've started the channel, so if it's just an issue once every 1.5 years, I can live with that. Hopefully it was a one-off occurrence. Right, so ITA will be number 2. Turns out, seems that Vueling is going to be the first airplane to arrive. I'm looking behind me. Am I able to see it yet? The answer is not yet. I think I see a glistening light, but it is still very vague with the naked eye, so let's just see if they are going to open up those cargo hatches on the back. Hey Adri, hey Nelly, hey Elwa. Dirk asks if I watched Sifan's race before the setup. No, I did not have time. I haven't had time to watch any of the Olympics. I think I've seen a couple of minutes of swimming, and a mate of mine told me I should watch the basketball shortly after the Dutch won, so wasn't anything left to see except to see that they've won. And I think I saw a couple of minutes of breakdancing. I think it was yesterday evening. That's it. What up, Ellen? Good afternoon, good to see ya. You naughty bollocks. You know I am. Epicer also in the house. Good to see you again, mate. Hope all is well. Hey there, Jin. Good afternoon, evening, morning? Morning, probably. Right, I think Vueling is now within visual range, so let's turn around the camera, have a look at it. ITA will be behind it. Let me get my bearings in. This is where I need to point the camera to. You can see both airplanes now. In the foreground we have Vueling flight 8306 arriving from Barcelona. That's an A320. Flight time 1 hour and 44 minutes. The ECKLB, 16 years old, first flight November 2007, and the airplane behind it is Vueling. It's also an A320, arriving from Rome, flight 110. Morning, 8:18 a.m. for Jin. Good morning. Good morning, good evening, welcome one and all. Hey Hans, good afternoon. Dutch Flight Simmer, goedemiddag. Hey Marjan, goedemiddag. Glide slope shots against the backlight of the sun. Slowly but surely going under later. And also a massive big thank you to Kevin Kelly, who just now gifted 5 memberships. Welcome to the Aurora Skyline's new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Kevin. Thank you so much, that is very kind of you. And if you are one of the new members, don't forget to use the custom emojis that are at your disposal for a month now, such as for Vueling. So what wind is blowing now is blowing mostly from the north, which means that there is crosswind from the left for the airplane's landing. Hey Joke, goedemiddag. Jordi, goedemiddag. This is Kaagbaan. Joke. Hey Bill, good evening. And yeah, happy to see that the stream is working again. It sort of resolved itself. I didn't do anything particularly. Also had issues with the internet at home. Even though internet was working, the program I used to stream kept saying check your internet connection. So I'm thinking there was a server issue with the software provider that I'm using. It resolved itself around 2 p.m. this afternoon. Tested it. Hey! Hey! Alitalia! Instead of the beautiful Ita Blue. Does that now count as a retro livery? I think it might. Ita Retro. Back when it was still Alitalia. Now you can see the cargo 777 fully loaded. Or at least I'm assuming that everything to the front is also fully stacked with crates and whatnot. Aphrodite says first Queen inbound in about 48 minutes. Korean Air Cargo. Now if I recall correctly, in an hour from now 36 right will also start being used as a secondary runway for arrivals. So Korean Air we should see land over here. The other one coming from the east will probably land on 36 right, and the KLM arriving from the west is expected to land on Kaagbaan as well. Now, Finnair A350 is also coming. See that it is now flying just east of Almere. So it is coming. And another Chinese triple arriving from Shanghai is coming. Etihad 777 is now in the country. Bit breezy over here, but that makes it very nice to be out here. Maybe if it is going to stay like this, image stabilizer enabled will provide a bit more stable footage. Well, not entirely. I have already set everything. Yeah. Was double checking, did I lock the tripod pan and tilt axis, the knobs? I did. So there you go. Howdy Ricardo, Hatris, Yorkshire Traveller, good to see you. Jos, goedemiddag. Ricardo tuning in from Wateringen. Good to see you again. Hope you've had a good Sunday. Slowly but surely the Chinese triple is getting unloaded and more airplanes are arriving. Lufthansa A319 arriving from Frankfurt is turning in. I think I have it. Let's turn around the camera and watch it arrive. Now we have parallel departures from 36 left and center. We're standing right in line with 36 center, so if something interesting takes off from 36C, let me know. At least we can have a butt shot, a long distance butt shot of it. First next airplane to arrive, Lufthansa flight 996. Arriving aus Frankfurt, 45 minutes on the way. A319, it's Dale, and Dale is 27 years old. Began flying as an airplane in May 1997. Hey JD, good to see you, Jörg. Hope you've had a good Sunday. And Jordi can't wait to go to New York for the first time in 12 days with KLM flight 641. Nice. Is it warm over there right now? It probably is, isn't it? Even though it is adjacent to the ocean, it has a land climate, doesn't it? PB477 says hi from Stuttgart. Hi back from Amsterdam. The next airplane after this one is going to be an A320neo from EasyJet arriving from London Luton. Flight 22519, now flying over Noordwijk. Debbie says, New York is warm and dry currently. Dare I ask how warm is? Still looking. A350 from Finnair. It should be flying somewhere over there. Oh, wait, I think I have it. Yeah. Above the building, but a bit lower. There we go. Oh. Finnair A350 arriving from bloody Helsinki on the downwind leg. Pretty soon we are going to see the A320neo arriving from London from EasyJet arrive from the right. Already established. Now Bill, thank you so much for gifting another 5 memberships just now. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. Welcome to the Aurora Skylines, those 5 new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Bill. And don't forget to spam us to death with the custom emojis that are now at your disposal for a month. Bill, thank you so much, my friend. Right, it is warm everywhere by the looks of it in the chat. At least on the northern hemisphere. Summer in full progress. And tomorrow it's also set to become a very warm day here in the Netherlands with temperatures of 35 to 39 degrees C, I think. So that's 100 to 110 or so. Only for one day, as is typical. Probably some showers overnight or maybe in the evening already. At least it beats rain and cold, in my opinion. EasyJet flight 22519 is getting closer by. A320neo arriving from London Luton. Look away if you have a Luton intolerance. The airplane is 36 minutes underway now. The Guzzi GUZHE, 6 years old, first flight March 2018. Finnair A350 is turning in. That's going to be the next airplane, arriving from bloody Helsinki. Nice touchdown. What up, tours to boot? Doing fine, thank you for asking. Almost noon on the East Coast. The day has only just begun. Well, I'm happy that the technical issues of this morning have been resolved. And there are still 3 747s expected before 8 PM local time. 2 of which are going to land on this runway expectedly. It's definitely worth going out for. Short but sweet evening stream. First up, Finnair flight 1305. It's an A350-900 arriving from bloody Helsinki. 2 hours and 2 minutes underway. Quite a bit of wind now from behind, so I'm assuming that makes the wind rumble on the mic a little bit worse. Thought it wouldn't be as windy as it is. Had I known, would have opted for the blimp instead. Hey Patrick, back in business indeed. What up Michael? Hey there Eric. This A350 is 8 years old already, began flying in December 2015. Surely that has to be one of the earliest A350s then. When did the A350-900, when did the first A350-900 begin service? Surely it mustn't have been a lot sooner than 2015. Hey Evelyn, goedenavond. Adi, goedenavond. Amai, Lise, ook weer terug. Welkom. Is het al donderdag? Is it Thursday already? Thanks for the update Evelyn. The first A350 got delivered December 22 in 2014, so Finnair A350, only a year younger than that. Aero Mexico is also coming. Is it the Quetzalcoatl? No, it isn't. Wah, wah, wah. So Aero Mexico Dreamliner is expected. We have a few narrow bodies and the next Chinese triple is also getting closer by. Let's turn around. A320neo EasyJet arriving from Birmingham up next. And a Vueling A320 arriving from Palma de Mallorca behind it. Boom. And thank you for forwarding Alvin's regards. I spoke to him this afternoon as well. He sent me some videos of nice morning arrivals of heavies at Sydney Airport. But he did have to get up at 5 AM. So long day, but worth it. Vueling flight 2901 up next, arriving from Palma de Mallorca. The airplane behind it is an EasyJet A319 arriving from Gatwick. Spot the dot, although that is a bit difficult with the lighting. That's the downside of being here in the evening or late afternoon. Backlight. Still managed to spot the dot, it's still there. And good afternoon to one and all who have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy. We're standing along Kaagbaan for some Queens and other airplanes. As you guys can see, a lot of blue in the sky, a few clouds here and there, a bit of wind from the north. And a slowly but surely setting sun. 3747s are still expected before 8 PM local time. 2 of them expected to land on the runway we are standing next to. This is EasyJet flight 28672 arriving from Gatwick, A319. Omar, good afternoon. Carbike Paradise, good afternoon. And all others who have joined in the meantime, welcome. Now, I know a lot of you are fans of the next airplane, Embraer 190. It's coming, arriving from Milan. KLM flight 1616. Also on the way for 1 hour and 16 minutes. The airplane 12 years old. First flight was somewhere in 2012. Hope you guys feel lucky, because you are. Seeing an Embraer 190 KLM, really a rarity. What up, Eddie? Armin, good to see ya. Hey Tina, goedemiddag. Another A320 Neo arriving from Lickety Split. 2 hours and a minute on the way. Brand new airplane, first flight April 2004, 2024, plus 20. Next airplane after this is going to be Aeromexico Flight 25, arriving from Mexico City. Well, there, you're too late, Evelyn. Too bad. Better luck next time. Hey, Lance, also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Hope you've had a good Sunday. Aeromexico. It's been a while since we last saw that one. They used to fly earlier in the afternoon to Schiphol. Was sometimes able to catch them in the morning streams. Aeromexico Flight 25 arrived from Mexico City. It's a 787-8, 9 hours and 36 minutes on the way. 10-year-old airplane. First flight September 2013. And Captain Wheelie is still MIA, Bill. Unfortunately. Now, let's see. Also have a Chinese triple behind it. Chinese triple. And Lisa, we do have an emoji for the Embraer. It's Captain Wheelie doing a wheelie. Sort of a combo emoji for Captain Wheelie and for Embraer 190s and 175s. Now behind the Chinese triple we also have an Etihad triple. Nice. Double triple time, ladies and gentlemen. In the foreground we have China Eastern Airlines. Arriving from Shanghai. 777-300ER. Not a passenger one though. Not a cargo one, I should say, but a passenger one. 10 hours and 43 minutes underway to get here. 9 years old already. First flight was in July 2015. Let's listen to those epic GE90s. Oh yeah, nice. Now, if you're wondering, gee, I like that sound, wish I could hear it again. We have an all blank Etihad arriving from Abu Dhabi. The plainest of them all, at least according to the picture on Flight Radar, which is a shame because the Etihad livery is such a nice one. Etihad Cargo Flight 917 777 freighter, 6 hours and 38 minutes on the way, 5-year-old airplane, first flight September 2018. And Air Baguette is next with the baby bus A318, arriving from Paris, Charles de Gaulle. Sweet. Sweet indeed. Hey boy. Het is gelukt indeed. Yeah, I think it was an issue with the servers of the software provider. It constantly kept saying I had to check my internet connection, but the internet connection was working, both on my modem that I'm using in the field and at home later. But still, it wasn't able to connect. I was able to schedule a new stream. I thought maybe if I schedule a new stream, maybe that will start, but was able to schedule it, so the software was able to connect to YouTube, but apparently starting goes via a different way. Anyway, this afternoon, run 2, tried testing it again and it worked. Tested extensively, both on my home internet and on the internet that I have on the modem when I'm going out. In both cases I could start streams, private streams, so figured, okay, if private works then public will also work. Had a look at flight radar, saw that 3 queens were expected between 6 and 8, so I figured it's nice weather, why not go out. The baby bus, A318. Paris-Charles de Gaulle. Michael, goedemiddag. Familie Mathilda Haverkamp, goedemiddag. Lily, good afternoon. All others who have joined, welcome back. Next is Air Europa arriving from Madrid. It is a 737-800 instead of the usual Dreamliner. Flight 1093, 1 hour 55 minutes on the way. The EC-LUT, or the E-SLUT. 11 years old, first flight April 2013. Matt says that the Korean Air 747 now just now crossed Münster, so it is coming. I think around 6:20 p.m. Around 6:20 p.m. local time. Runway 36 left is also going to open up as a secondary for arrivals. Koreans should have landed before then. Indeed, Lisa. E-SLUT, says the guy who has an OnlyFans account. I do have an OnlyFans account, and if you haven't checked that out yet, have a look in the community section. There's a link. If you like what you see, there's also via that link a 10% discount. Check it out if you haven't already. See the reviews below it. Everybody is extremely enthusiastic about it. Hey Mike, goedemiddag. From the barbecue straight on to AMS Live. Nice. Hope you've had a good one. And yes, well, it was a nice day yesterday. The reception was held at the clubhouse of the local golf club where my nephew is a member. So they have 2 clubhouses, one for the golfers and the other one is to host parties in. Next to the putting greens and one of the tees, so nice to see. Beautiful surroundings. Short but sweet. E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Copenhagen, KLM flight 1274. And that trademark geared turbofan whistle. You also hear it if the A220 passes by. A350 fans coming to AMS in the future, nice! Bring rain clothing, no matter the season. Hey Sasha, goedemiddag, good afternoon. Three airplanes on the glide slope. Not sure if we can see them all. Let's see, 1, 2, third one not yet. Transavia is the next airplane to arrive, arriving from Verona. Flight 5462, 737-800, 1 hour and 39 minutes on the way to get here. 7-year-old airplane, had its first flight in March 2017. Thank you for the confirmation, Aphrodite, the first queen already assigned to the runway we are standing next to. That's good news. Korean cargo 7478. Usually we don't get to see that because we usually are done streaming before it arrives, so nice one. Looking forward to seeing that. Next up, another, hey, there's a bug on my lens. Get the F out. Hitching a ride. Lazy bug. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, another chance for you guys to see one of those rare Embraers. This is an Embraer 175. Happens to be from KLM, so that's also a rare combination. You don't ever see them, well, hardly ever I should say. Arriving from Linköping. 1 hour 40 minutes underway. 7-year-old airplane. First flight February 2017. More than enough bugs. Wolfgang, absolutely. Hey Joop, goedenavond. Remco, goedenavond. Welcome all others. Let's turn around quickly. Xiamen Air. Also one of those airplanes that frequent Schiphol, but because of the timing of the usual streams we don't get to see them very often. Flight A11 arriving from Xiamen in China. 7879 Dreamliner. 10 hours and 59 minutes underway. 7-year-old airplane. First flight January 2017. Xiamen Air. Xiamen Air, I should say. From China. Now there's still flex, and now there isn't. Lovely. Now, Rishi, thank you so much for your super chat for a cold Heineken. I don't have any in stock, but maybe I can pick some up on my way home. Thank you so much, Rishi. Nice cold beer. Perfect day for it. A320neo up next. The sun is playing hide and seek behind clouds. Another EasyJet arriving from London. Another one from Gatwick. A320neo. 40 minutes on the way. The airplane is a year old. First flight December 2022. Austrian registered, the OELSP. Where is the next airplane after that? Oh, Ryanair is arriving from Dublin. Iberia Express is arriving from Madrid. Korean is in the nation. Efrain, good afternoon, welcome. Did we miss the departure of that Chinese triple that was behind it? I think we have. And that other Chinese triple that has arrived apparently parked on the other side. Or no, that is Etihad, of course. Huh? Okay. Lily asks, am I wearing my cap? Absolutely I am, always. The mic is attached, the voiceover mic is attached to it. So Iberia Express looks like it is going to be the next airplane to arrive. It is arriving from Leiden, so I think it should emerge from behind the tree over there. Ryanair is still flying to the south on the base leg, now entering above land in the vicinity of Noordwijk, so that is going to be the number 2. Well, thank you so much, Lily. It is definitely sensible to wear a cap when it is summer, also in winter. It's always a good idea when you're out to wear something on your head. Tours de Boot asks, is that your house over there? No, this what you're seeing are, I think, sheds for when builders work on building sites, where they can have their coffee during lunch. Probably a rental company for those units. Now the grass is quite tall and overgrown over here as well, otherwise you would be able to see that there are also a lot of cars parked left and right. I think either a car park company where you can park your car if you're flying from Schiphol, or maybe a rental company is located over here, or both. Right, quite a few airplanes arriving to Amsterdam now if you look on flight radar. Storage containers, yeah, could be. There are some storage containers further to the left, to the right. Those units on the ground, they're usually occupied by people. Usually can be found on building sites, construction sites, where they have their coffee. Free exposure indeed. Ryanair arriving from Dublin in the background, also visible. Right now the only two airplanes on the glide slope. In the foreground, Iberia Express arriving from Madrid, A320. 1 hour and 49 minutes on the way. The Easy Lie. So a bit of a psychopath. They don't have any issues lying. Still 1.5 liters of vodka with me, just in case. Can never have enough vodka. Hey Clemencia, goedenavond. Adriaan, goedenavond. Hey Marissa, goedenavond. Good to see you. Hope you've all had a good day. Now this Iberia Express pathological liar is 11 years old, first flight August 2013. Right, Aphrodite has to go again. Thank you for joining. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Ryanair up next, flight 3100, arriving from Dublin, Ireland. Flight time 1 hour and 6 minutes. 18 years old. EIDLD. First flight of this airplane was in December 2005. Hey Rodney, good evening. Well, I didn't sort the issue or solve the issue myself. It sort of solved itself. I checked again around 2 PM and then all of a sudden I was able to start streams again. So my suspicion is that it was an issue with the server of the software provider that I'm using. It also has the watermark, the live logo, the ticker. Ecam Live is what I'm using. Thought I saw a little airplane outbound. Bit hard to pinpoint since it doesn't produce contrail and is already quite far away. Norwegian is coming and a 747 are both on the downwind leg. I'm thinking with such clear skies we should be able to see them. Let's first give Norwegian a try. First I need to locate it, then I need to point the camera to it, which... No, I do think I have the 747. Let's see. Or is it? Yes, it definitely is. That's the 7478, the first of 3 queens we are going to see today before 8 p.m. local time. Yeah. Sun's playing hide and seek, and the airplanes luckily aren't. Another chance to see one of those rare Embraers. This is a 190 arriving from Inverness, and it is in the SkyTeam livery. Yeah. Saw a longer message by Boy scrolled, and now I think the chat froze momentarily. Seems to be back again. Okay. Yeah. Well, as you can see, it is not very exciting, and the lighting is also a bit poor, so I'm not a big fan of doing evening streams, at least not from this location. It's just that I wanted some redemption for the missed stream this morning, and also saw that 3 747s were coming. Find that traffic in the morning hours, the usual time slot that I stream in, is much more exciting. But it's something different. KLM in the SkyTeam livery arriving from Inverness, Embraer 190, 1 hour 13 minutes underway, 12-year-old airplane, first flight April 2012. Right, 2 more airplanes and then the first queen will arrive. First up, Speedbird, arriving from London Heathrow. BA flight 440. Norwegian should be behind it somewhere. Oh yeah, there it is. And this is Speedbird flight 440 A320 arriving from London Heathrow, 37 minutes underway. It's the Dutch word for yawn, geel. 16-year-old airplane, first flight May 2008. Norwegian arrived from Copenhagen as number 2 behind it. Does not seem to have a grumpy face on the livery. Chris Coot also says hi to everybody. Now Lisa is yawning as well. Sorry. Hey Hans Olaf, good evening. Maurice, good evening, goedenavond. The Night Rider, goedenavond. Welcome one and all. Oh yeah, the first of 3 queens. Korean Air arriving from Seoul, having done some soul searching. Number 6 on Flight Radar, tracked by 560 people. It's quite a few more than are viewing right now. What the F? Why aren't they all watching AMS Live? This is where it happens. Hey Lisa, goedenavond. Perfect timing if you just tuned in. First of 3 queens, now number 2. Korean Air Cargo 7478, returning from soul searching in South Korea. 13 hours and 13 minutes underway. 10-year-old airplane. First flight February 2014. Norwegian in the foreground. Doesn't really have a grumpy face on the tail. Let's skip that one. Hey, check it out, Jane also back, good to see ya, hope all is well. Han, goedenavond, perfect timing. Thomas, good evening. Right, the first of 3 queens, ladies and gentlemen. Awesome. Now she'll probably take a turn to the right. Cannot recall having seen Korean Cargo 7478 on the left hand side of the runway. Oh, come on, is it that time again? Oh, fellas. Jörg is at it again, as is Wolfgang. Thank you both so much for 5 memberships each. 10 new members courtesy of Jörg and Wolfgang. Don't forget to say thank you if you were one of the recipients of the gifted memberships just now gifted by both Jörg and Wolfgang. Welcome to the Aurora Skylines new members. Guys, thank you so much, both of you. You really shouldn't have, you know that. Welcome to the Aurora Skylines new members. Be sure to spam us to death with the custom emojis that are now at your disposal. Now folks, this is just the first of 3 queens expected before 8 PM local time. The KLM Cargo is also going to land on this runway, more than likely. There's another 747 underway. I think it is going to land on runway 36 right, but we are standing next to that, so we can see that quite well from over here. Infinity also back. Good to see you, mate. Were you there already? Hope all is well, mate. EasyJet arrived from Prague, A319. What you're looking at? What up, me myself? Good to see you again. Andre, good evening. Andre asks, is another rare Embraer 190 on the run? Could be. Not yet. Not yet. Great stuff indeed, isn't it, Alan? A319 arriving from Copenhagen next. Tourist Boot asks, is that downtown Amsterdam in the background? Not exactly. It is called the Zuidas, what you see. Those are banks and law firms that aggregate together on the south side of the ring A10 highway around Amsterdam. So this is more or less the periphery, the southern periphery of the city. Further to the south you have part of the city called Buitenveldert, which transitions into another municipality called Amstelveen. To the north of the highway A10, which is just north or runs through the center of those high rises that you saw just now, lies the city of Amsterdam, the city center, so to speak. EasyJet A319 arriving from Copenhagen. Now we also have a 777 from Korean coming in. Let's also have a quick look on the map, see what is coming. So Martin Air / KLM Cargo is now flying west of Ireland and is expected a few minutes to 8. We have Singapore arriving around the same time, 7:44. Jesus is flying to Antalya. So another day without Jesus in the Netherlands over here. Woe us. We'll have to make do without Jesus. Also a massive big thank you to Alex, who just now gifted 5 more memberships. Alex, thank you so much. Don't forget to say thank you if you are one of the recipients of the gifted memberships by Alex. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge new members. Alex, thank you so much for the gifted memberships. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge new members. Lifeliner on the go. One of the emergency trauma choppers. Now I think we're seeing outbound traffic over there. Can I show you? Reflections are really poor today with the low lighting. With the low sun, I should say. shining from behind. Oh no, that is really hard to see today. Does look like it is opening up a little bit. There were more clouds earlier than there are now. And it seems that the Korean 777 is going to be the first airplane to land. Can I see it? I suspect it should be somewhere where I'm pointing the camera. I'm looking over the camera left and right to see if I see something moving. No, it is in the vicinity of Leiden, so it's probably already further over there. We'll probably see it appear pretty soon over there. Can you guys see something already? I think the answer is no. Hey Jan, goedenavond. Not even fake Jesus is. Not even fake Jesus will visit the Netherlands. Such a heathen place. Rightly so. Cursing, swearing, drinking Dutch. Speaking of drinking, let's take a swig of vodka. Chinese triple is still being unloaded by the looks of it. I spy with my little eye a Bombardier C-Series 300 Air Baltic flying in the vicinity of Amsterdam, coming this way. Another nice time to hear that whistle, that geared turbofan whistle. Eduard says, contact me after the live for my address mail. I have beautiful picture on the live. Are you sitting next to me, mate? Hey, what up? Nice. The only 3 people over here, Eduard and the little one and me. In the meantime, we have a Chinese 777, also Korean Air. 2 Korean Airs in one show. Also has done some soul searching, 13 hours and 15 minutes on the way. 14-year-old airplane, first flight June 2010. AI indeed, JD. SAS A320 arriving from Oslo, turning in. Not sure if we can see that already. Don't think that we can. We'll see it soon enough. Lisa asks, what are those Bombardier planes? Is that a specific manufacturer? The A220s. They used to be Bombardier C-Series. Bombardier is a plane manufacturer that predominantly makes biz jets. They also developed the A220, but before Airbus took that part over, it was Bombardier. They were called Bombardier C-Series, which is also why if you look on Flight Radar and you see BCS3, that's where it comes from. Bombardier C-Series 300. These days called A220s, but they're not true Airbuses. They were designed and made initially by Bombardier. Dash 8 also Bombardier. There you go, Bombardier actually made quite some nice airplanes. The Bombardier C series is flying. It should be right of me, but I'm not seeing it. Another thing learned, and that on a Sunday. The sun is getting lower. We have a few clouds. The moon is also out, although I'm not sure. Yeah, vaguely visible. Very faint. This is SAS flight 827 arriving from Oslo. It is an A320, 1 hour 25 minutes underway. It's the Oiken. Oiken. Yes, Oiken. 17-year-old airplane, first flight November 2006. Hey Nart, goedenavond. Hey there Jess, good evening. Welcome one and all. Bombardier C series up next. The A220-300 arriving from Riga. The riggers coming back to do some rigging. Air Baltic flight 619, 2 hours and 2 minutes underway this airplane. I love is the registration. YLAAV. Airplane 4 years old, first flight December 2019. Maurice says, I think that Bombardier has taken over Canadair. I think that might be true, yeah. Because I think the Dash 8, if you look on flight radar, it always says Canadair, right? But why then does it say Airbus A220 on flight radar and not Bombardier C series? Huh. What up, George? Good evening. And all others who have joined in the meantime, welcome to the show. If you just joined us, you already missed the arrival of Korean Air Cargo 7478. KLM and Singapore Cargo are still expected before 8 o'clock. In fact, both are expected to arrive between 7:30 and 8 p.m. local time. The KLM is expected to land on this runway, and I'm thinking that the Singapore is going to land on 36 right, which will be open by then. In fact, I think I see the first airplane to 36 right already coming this way. So parallel arrivals now in progress. We should have favorable lighting for the Singapore 747 when it arrives. Obviously a bit of backlight with the low sun in the west for Kaagbound traffic. You can hear the same whistle that you could also hear with the E2 Embraers from KLM. Both have the same family of engines, geared turbofans. Hey Stoof, goedenavond. Stoof says hello world. Hello to you too. Marianne asks if I have something to eat with me, and the answer is no, just a lot of vodka. That's my food for now. FJWH says, is this the makeup session? Absolutely. Now, BizJet going to land on the Oostbaan, doing a last minute turn to the right, but following the glide slope of 36 right for the most part. Bit similar to how you also sometimes see airplanes land on runway 24 while following the glide slope of runway 27. Time to take in another rare Embraer. This one with nothing to lose. Bunch of losers. It is KLM flight 1454. Nearly 1.5 hours underway to get here. It's the FEXA PHEXA. She's 10 years old. First flight December 2013. Losers. Embraer. Party yesterday was nice, Clementia, thank you for asking. Did not get a chance to speak to all my relatives, but that's okay. It was nice seeing them all together again. Hey there, ball scratchers, good to see you again. And indeed, Embraer made in Brazil. Absolutely. There's a Chinese 777-200, also arriving from Shanghai, that is approaching. And that BizJet that we saw just now was just the first airplane. Was just an exception to the rule. It doesn't seem that 36 right has opened up yet for arrivals. Another Embraer 190 arriving from Krakow in Poland. Flight 1320, 26 I should say. Alright, KLM flight 1780 is the first for Aalsmeerbaan. So we're lucky to see the 777-200 arriving from Shanghai then. Or maybe not. I mean, lighting is better for traffic going to 36 right. Here it is, returning from Shanghai. Chris and Curtis was also here. I'm not sure if you can see him in the center, behind the grass. Chris and Curtis Coot also saying hi to everybody. KLM flight 1326 from Krakow first, SAS A320neo arriving from Stockholm second. KLM flight 896 arriving from Shanghai, number 3. Hey Jaakski, goedenavond. Eduard is returning home. See you later, take care. The influx for runway 36 right is beginning, but not before we are going to see 2 airplanes. Or, well, more is coming from the west. 2 airplanes from the east, and then everything from the east will be going to 36 right. This is SAS flight 1555 arriving from Stockholm. It's an A320neo. 1 hour and 42 minutes on the way. The SEDOX, S-E-D-O-X, 7-year-old airplane. Had its first flight in February 2017. Indeed, Keanu. 7 arriving from Shanghai, the next airplane to arrive. Hey Mike, groetjes terug. KLM flight 896 is the next airplane to arrive from Shanghai. There it is, 777-200 13 hours and 6 minutes on the way. 13 minutes and 6 hours. It's the PHBQG, 20-year-old airplane, first flight April 2004. Got a 737-700 arriving from Berlin, now approaching 36 right. And the MAX 8 from the Sun Express. I was about to say Sky Express. Sky Express is Greek and Sun Express is Turkish, right? Now, Silkway West Airlines 777 arriving from Baku is also approaching. That is definitely worthwhile looking for. At least 2 747s, ball scratchers. KLM Cargo will be landing on Kaagbaan. Singapore Airlines Cargo is arriving from the east and is expected to land on 36 right. But we should be able to see that quite well from over here. In fact, the lighting is more favorable for traffic landing on Aalsmeerbaan than on Kaagbaan. Hey Erwinkel, thank you for the kind words. In from Drenthe. More land inward and a bit more to the north. Now, it looks like the timing of the arrival of Silkway West 777 is favorable, with just some narrow bodies on approach for Kaagbaan. Means that we can turn around the camera and have a look on at that. Oh, Donald Duck is also nearby. I heard him, but I haven't seen him yet. Pretty birdie. I remember that too, Hans Olaf, back when SAS had MD-80s. The good old days. Let's see, there is the Silkway West Airlines 777 freighter arriving from Baku. Brand new airplane. It only began flying in September last year, so it will turn 1 next month. Another airplane in the background. Right, JD signing off again. Thank you for joining, Jörg. Enjoy the rest of your evening, mate. Hope to see you again later in the week. Silkway West, check it out. Nice machine. KLM Embraer 175 in the meantime landing. Here you can see the heat emanating from the buildings, the rooftops, disturbing the picture a little. Well, better to disturb the picture than to disturb the piece. Now, that's where we lose it, unfortunately. Back in time for Air Arabia Morocco arrival from Tangier. A320, 2 hours and 33 minutes on the way. 8-year-old airplane, first flight April 2016. Forget Milky Way. This is a Silky Way. Hey Sean, good to see ya. No others who have joined in the meantime, welcome to the show. Still in expectance of 2 747s, we already saw one land. That was the Pepsi Korean 7478. At the moment, Parallel arrivals in progress. Tarom arriving from Bucharest, going to 36 right. That's a 737-800. And Air Baguette is also returning with an airplane from La Douce France. A321, we already saw the baby bus, the A318 earlier in the show. Don't get seasick. Air France, flight 1440 from Paris, A321. Those faint pixels in the distance are the 777 from Silkway that we saw. I think it is coming this way and will be parking on the left hand side by the looks of it. That would be sweet. You know, Chris is also over here doing some evening cardio. Probably ate already and is doing some cardio to digest his food better. Next up is KLM flight 1936, Embraer 175, arrived from Geneva, 1 hour and 4 minutes underway. 8-year-old airplane, first flight May 2016. Oh nice, Sean will be going to Baltimore for a trip with his mom. Nice little something to look forward to, mate. Now the next airplane to Aalsmeerbaan is Transavia. Yes, yes. Chris is saying if you've liked the stream so far, but you haven't already, don't forget to drop a like, because that really helps to spread this content to new people who don't know the channel yet but might be interested in it. And subscribe if you haven't already. From one to the other, back and forth. Transavia, left. Left, right and center. This one is returning from Palma de Mallorca, flight 5628. I should hire Chris Coote as my spokesman. Good idea. Good idea. Promoter of cardio in the morning, in the afternoon and in the evening. Lufthansa alt livery coming in from Frankfurt, flight 998. And we have a KLM 737-800 arrival from Venice to Kaagbaan. Right, Sean is tuning in from Virginia. How warm is it there over there? Now this A320 is 7 years old. First flight May 2017. Transavia A321neo, the number 2 for the Kaagbaan for runway 06. You can see, even if you cannot see the buildings, you can see that the airplane is flying low above the buildings. Or at least that the buildings are getting in the way, the distortion. Arriving from Venice in Italy. KLM flight 1634. What up, Harry? Good evening. Well, afternoon for you. PHBXY, this was 16 years old. Hey, Susanne, long time no see, indeed. Sean asks, where are you from? If you're talking to me, I am from the Netherlands. Born and raised not too far from Schiphol Airport. 2 airplanes visible, both of them Transavia. In the foreground we have the A321neo. In the background we have a 737-800. We have KLM Embraer 175s and 737-700s arriving on the other runway. They come in pairs. Late stream indeed, Eversteria. I was planning on doing a morning stream, but technical issues prevented me from doing so. First I drove over here because I was in the expectation that the runway was going to be used for arrivals, then they use it for departures, then I headed over to Polderbaan, and then I set up at Polderbaan only to find out that I could not go live, probably because of a software issue. I don't know 100% sure. It wasn't an internet connection issue. It said check your internet, but I had working internet. It was a very software specific issue. Anyway, I'm digressing. Party goers returning from Ibiza with the A321neo. Well, I thought maybe I could read it, but it's a bit too windy. Flight radar tells me this is one of Transavia's own. It's the PHYHB. The A and B are from Transavia itself. The ones starting with the letters at the end of the alphabet are rentals. Michael asks, until when am I planning to stay out here for? The answer is at least until the KLM 747, which I think was arriving from Miami, has landed. Last time I checked, it was expected a few minutes to 8 local time. I think around 7:45 the Singapore Airlines Cargo 747 is expected. Want to catch at least these two? But if these airplanes are followed immediately by something else that is interesting, I'll be happy to postpone the last airplane a little bit, but at least I want to have 3 queens in this stream. Silkway West 777 has parked nicely in the foreground over here. Eversteria thought it was late today because of Ajax's first game of the season. Mate, I have absolutely no clue about when football seasons are beginning. Not following it at all, so nope, unrelated to football. Well, it definitely seems to have caught a lot of people by surprise because there aren't a lot of viewers watching. I think everybody is used to me being out in the morning. Is either doing different stuff or watching different channels. But there you go, 3 queens in 2 hours time span. Definitely worth watching. Air India is also coming, nice. Not seeing anything coming to, oh wait, no, I spoke too soon. 737 arriving from Budapest, looks like it is going to Alsmeerbaan. Embraer 190 arriving from Luxembourg, flight 1714 is this. And this is our good friend Chucky. Have some after dinner chocolate, courtesy of German Airways. Short flight, 38 minutes. Oh, chocolate. Hey, nice. Marissa is informing us that we are going to see Dreamliner arriving from Tokyo pretty soon. That is amazing. Tokyo Narita, presumably? Yeah, I think it is. We're also going to see the tap dancers of Portugal pretty soon. Number 2 now. First KLM flight 1924 arriving from Zurich. See over there. And tap dancers are over there. Now in the meantime, parallel arrivals. Behind the building, huh? (737). More of that over there. Another Transavia. Next up, Top Air Portugal. Tap dancers arriving from Lisbon, A319. Flight 672. 2 hours and 27 minutes underway. The airplane 22 years old, first flight made 2002. Maurice asks if any Japanese airlines are operating to Amsterdam. The answer is no, not anymore. I think we did used to have, no, yeah, well we do have Nippon Cargo. It's all cargo. Don't recall that we ever had passenger Japanese airplanes. But that's not to say that we didn't have them at some point. K2 just passed by. Quick wave. Next up is going to be an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Bilbao. After that we are going to see an Embraer 195 from Swiss arriving from Zurich, and after that the Dreamliner arriving from Tokyo Narita. Air India is also approaching, arriving from Delhi, which we are going to follow. Looks like the Dreamliner from Japan, oh, that's the number 2, will be a little earlier, so no issues of and again the whistle. Right, Embraer 175 is coming in on Alsmeerbaan, arriving from JD's hometown of Düsseldorf. Meanwhile, Helvetic Airways Embraer 195 is approaching over here, arriving from Zurich. Flight time 1 hour and 3 minutes. HB Java, 13-year-old airplane, first flight somewhere in 2011, does not specify the month. Hey, and Clemencia says the Orange Pride just flew over my house. Is that also approaching? Or is it? No, that must be outbound. I'm not seeing it on flight radar with the inbound filter enabled. Right, Air India turning in 777-200, arrived from Bangkok, also approaching for the Alsmeerbaan. Helvetic, it's so much more than just a font in Word. And Harry asks, where do Japanese airlines land in Europe then? Well, I think at least London and probably also Paris. Thought so, Clemencia, outbound. Right, let's see. Oh, we're in a bit of pickle. It does look like the Dreamliners are more close to one another than I thought. We have the KLM arriving from Tokyo, but we also have Air India. Air India has better lighting. We don't see that very often, so easy choice. Air India arriving from Delhi on the glide slope of runway 36 right. Flight 155. Eight hours and 14 minutes. This airplane is now underway. It's the VTANG. VTANG. 10-year-old airplane. First flight October 2013. Right here we are going to lose it. Ah, Orange Pride is currently over Angola. You're living further to the south than I thought, Clemencia. Maybe it was that Jetways miniature fake Dreamliner. Now, Britty Hopper coming in. We have a KLM 777-200 approaching the other runway. Let's have another look at that. Lighting is way better. KLM flight 876, a countdown flight number, arriving from Bangkok. 11 hours and 51 minutes underway, 777-200 the PH-BQF, 20 years old, first flight March 2004. What up, DJ Digital Media? Good evening, good to see you again. Now, finally, KLM Asia arriving from Asia. The right livery for the right trip. Let's quickly turn back. Britty Hopper Embraer 190 arriving from Norwich. Up next, flying for KLM as flight 1062, a mere 28 minutes just across the canal, 17-year-old airplane. Noise. Now we have another Embraer 190 arriving from London City that is still a bit out. In the meantime, traffic is continuing to approach the Aalsmeerbaan. This is a KLM 737-800 flight 1316 that is returning from Poland, from Warsaw. An E2 Embraer behind it arriving from Bologna. Is the contrast now a bit better to go moon gazing? The answer is not really. Not really. The clouds that were there initially in the beginning of the stream, as you can see, have almost completely dissolved. Not all of them. Sun quite low out here right now. I think that the sun sets around 9:15 p.m. local time. A few more hours of light here. Next up is number 190, arriving from London City, BA, flight 8455. 34 minutes underway, 10-year-old airplane. First flight was somewhere in 2014, although it doesn't specify the exact month. And we have an E2 Embraer from KLM that is also approaching from London Heathrow. Etihad Dreamliner is flying base-ish. Michael is asking, where's my daily CRJ? Well, as it happened, mate, I was setting up and one landed. That's always that's what always happens. I'm afraid that is also it was also maybe the last one for today. Hope not, but I fear so. Finnair 350 fan is still awake. What time is it right now over there? 2 a.m., 3 a.m? It was already 1 a.m. in the beginning of the stream, wasn't it? Doing some proper night owling then. 3:13, wow. Mats is heading out for a walk. Thank you for joining, mate. Enjoy your walk and the rest of your evening. Hope to see you pretty soon again. Now, pointing the camera in the general direction of the glide slope of Alsmeerbaan, there is some movement in the distance. I think that's the Embraer 175. Yep. So Etihad should be a bit further behind it. I think that might be it. Affirmative. Etihad flight 77 arriving from Abu Dhabi. Will land after the E2 Embraer that is now on the glide slope for Kaagbaan has landed. So I will turn the camera back to that pretty soon. Let's see, it is now 7:15. Before the E2 gets really close by, let's have another look at what is going on in the sky. The 747s that we are waiting for, where are they? Getting close by. Approaching the Netherlands from both sides. Hopefully they will not land exactly simultaneously. KLM Cargo arrived from Miami. Expected 7:48, so that is in 33 minutes. Singapore Airlines Cargo arrived from Chennai in India, is expected 3 minutes earlier. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Nice little grand finale. Meanwhile, KLM flight 1012 is approaching, arriving from London Heathrow, E2 Embraer 195, 2-year-old airplane, the PH NXJ. Andre also signing off, says bye for today, have a nice time. You too, Andre, thank you for joining, enjoy the rest of your evening. Keanu says, Netherlands are officially 6th in the Olympics leaderboard, it's finished. Right, poor Michael will be going on withdrawal pretty soon. Harry says, Ontario, Canada, it's 1:36, yeah, in the afternoon. Still early in the day. Finnair 350 fan is tuning in from Australia, where it is already 3 in the night, Monday morning. And Again, the whistle that you are hearing whenever E2 Embraers are landing, or the A220. Silkway West is getting unloaded. Mother fudger, we missed the landing of Etihad. Right, SAS Embraer 195 arrived from Copenhagen. Narrowbodies, narrowbodies, narrowbodies. It is a narrowbodies fest on both runways for the next couple of minutes. Meanwhile, Chris Coot is still doing cardio. That's also why he has such a slim physique and narrow body. Cardio all day. No ducklings, cootlings or greeblings in sight, sadly. What is in sight is the unloading of Silkway West. Alex Bon also has to leave. Thank you so much for joining, Alex, and for the gifted memberships earlier. Have a nice evening, mate. Right, it is Embraer Fest. Even though, normally speaking, they are very rare. Now we're going to see a few back to back. Embraer 190 arriving from Cardiff, the first airplane to arrive over here. 51 minutes underway. Thank you for your kind words, Keanu. Not sure if I'm that insightful though. I do my best. Hey RDB, goedenavond. Eddie back. Little break from the sun on the balcony. You guys missed a 747 already, but there are two coming and expected within half an hour. More or less simultaneously, no less. Ooh. That was wrong. Not exactly back-to-back Embraers, but also 737-700s. If I recall correctly, this was the Red Wine Express. Yep. Returning from Bordeaux. If they taxi back over here, they can drop a bottle of red right away. Mixes well with the vodka. Meanwhile, over there, also 737s, Transavia. Hey there, Captain Harry. Good evening. Time for more 737s. This is a Transavia one arriving from Malaga. Malaga ice cream. 2 hours and 24 minutes on the way. PHHZI, 24 years old. Now Peter, I'm a bit disappointed in your comment. Red wine with vodka, you won't win a cocktail challenge with that. Why not? Let's go to the bloody something something. Let's see, we have an EasyJet A320neo arriving from Liverpool. That is behind me, and we have an E2 Embraer arriving from Munich on the other runway. Behind the EasyJet A320neo from Liverpool, in the foreground we see another Embraer 190 arriving from Southend or Southampton? Southampton. That's a German Airways one. A bloody mistake. Excellent, thank you. That's a very good suggestion, Ari. A bloody mistake. Let's have a bloody mistake. On the rocks. Make it even more mistakeful. The Russian red wine. Hey Mark, new redemption stream. Tuned in 2 minutes ago, already booze talk. Yeah, of course, mate. Booze and food is all we talk about on this stream. And Finnair, you did miss a 747-8 freighter, absolutely. Pepsi Korean Air Cargo landed earlier. Now there's a chance to redeem yourself. We have 2 747s. That are landing in the next half hour, more or less simultaneously. I hope with enough clearance so that we can see both back to back. There it is. Singapore assigned to center as expected. Just hope that the timing is such that we can see first the one, then the other. That would be sweet. Let's turn back. German Airways arriving from Southampton, flying for KLM. KLM flight 1072. Dawsey is coming back to town, 17-year-old Dawsey. Right, Lisa has to go. That is a pity because you are going to miss 2 Queens landing more or less simultaneously within half an hour. Then again, you can always watch the replay, of course. Enjoy your bath. Finnair asks why there are 2 cargo terminals. Well, in case you haven't noticed, Amsterdam Schiphol Airport is quite the hub, and we often have more airplanes than just one hub can harbor. Embraer 175 arriving from Leeds. Leeds are back. The losers from Toulouse came back first, the leaders from Leeds come later. A lot of Transavia there in the background. And occasional British Airways, British Hopper. Harry says there should be a Vodka Express. We used to have a Vodka Express, but Russian airplanes are no longer allowed to fly to the Netherlands. Sadly. Time for a KLM 737-900 arriving from Bergen. KLM flight 1170. E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Marseille behind it. Almost catching the sun in the background when these airplanes pass by. Hey, KLM 747 freighter confirmed for Kaagbaan. That is nice to hear. Thank you for the good news, Marissa. Not unexpectedly, but still nice to get confirmation insofar as it is dogmatic. Wel te rusten. Well, it's a bit too early to go to bed yet, Keanu, but indeed later, when it is time to go to bed, then wel te rusten is indeed what we say over here. We have KLM flight 1470 approaching first. And a 737 KLM arriving from Glasgow behind it. All those airplanes, not a single CRJ. Whale sounds. Keanu is in West Indonesia, where it is past midnight already. Good morning then. Well, sun is slowly but surely setting over here. It's creeping ever lower. Hardly any clouds anymore. Just a smidge of a contrail remnant, though the airplane itself and the rest of the contrail is no longer to be seen. Let's see. This is KLM flight 942 arriving from Glasgow, 737-800. 1 hour and a minute underway. PHBXU, 18-year-old airplane, first flight April 2006. Let's see. Oh, we have a United 777 also approaching from Dubai. ITA arriving from Milan. Leeds Bradford, local airport of the Yorkshire Traveller. Nice. Let's see. Singapore 747 is flying towards Lelystad. The KLM 747 is still a bit away from the coast. Right, parallel arrivals in progress. Narrow bodies on both sides. Embraer 190 versus Embraer 175. Tomato. Now flying base 436 right, and the third airplane to land on that runway is an Emirates 777-300ER, which I happen to see behind the airplane that is approaching, the number 1. Emirates flight 149. Third to land on 36 right. KLM flight 992 arriving from London City, Embraer 190. Servus Erik, good to see you again. Hey Plan Watcher. I do believe that the airport is open 24/7. It's just that not a lot of airplanes are scheduled to land or take off right in the middle of the night, Harry. I think it's mostly the cargo airplanes that sometimes take off in the middle of the night or land. Passenger flights usually stop coming in around 1 AM and begin again between, 5 and 7 or so. It's usually Transavia that ends the day and also begins the day again. This is Emirates flight 149, which probably got vectors a little late and now is flying a little bit back to go to the glide slope of Alsmeerbaan. 777-300ER arriving from Dubai, 6 hours and 20 minutes on the way, so that is 10 minutes less than what you normally see with the A380 earlier in the day. 7-year-old airplane, first flight September 2016, and it is still no, it's no longer going. It already passed the glide slope, so not sure what it is doing. Where has this runway been? Where has this airplane been assigned to land? Because it is now sort of going around. Okay, Emirates is going around really early. Interesting. Now there is overhead traffic. Can I see it? Can I capture it for you? Come on. It should be there somewhere. Oh yeah. Outbound traffic. What is that? Austrian? No. Back to Spain. Iberia Express. Buitenveldert. Wind is blowing from this direction, so Buitenveldert has tailwind right now. Right. It's going around. Free round house. Free round on the house. Meanwhile, the next two airplanes are on the glide slope for Kaagbaan. KLM flight 1584 arriving from Lisbon, the first airplane to arrive. 737-800. The airplane in the background is an Embraer 190 arriving from Stavanger. KLM 747 is not too far away from Haarlem. That should be somewhere over there. Perfectly blue sky, visibility is superb, so still thinking, can we see it at some point? It will fly to the south shortly. ITA in the Born in 2021 special livery. Two ITAs we have seen, not one the ITA blue. The other was, of course, the retro Alitalia. I think we can call it retro. Yeah, I'm looking to see if maybe I can see the 747 already. Probably still a bit too far away. I will keep an eye out for it. This is KLM flight 1180, arriving from Stavanger. 1 hour 12 minutes underway. Vince is back. Nice. Hey Arnoud, goedenavond. Y'all are just in time for the two 747s that are approaching from the east and from the west. Narrow-bodies. Okay. Is that 747 from KLM already visible somewhere? I'm pretty sure that we should be able to see it at some point. Or is it flying so low already that we probably cannot see it? Won't be long, then we will see it for sure. In the meantime, we have another KLM 737-800 arriving. This one arriving from Edinburgh. Hour and 2 minutes underway. And the Emirates 777 is flying base, and immediately behind it is the Singapore 747. Definitely going to see those land first. EasyJet A320neo arriving from Olbia, and the next airplane to Kaagbaan. I say let's have a go at the heavies that are approaching Kaagbaan. Saw something pretty far away still. That is a KLM arriving from Rome. Okay, so that is the number 2 on the glide slope. Yeah, we are going to see the A320neo from EasyJet first. The 747 is approaching, is flying base KLM. Really? It's going to get awfully close. Both 747s approaching both runways nearly simultaneously. I have the KLM already. There's the KLM cargo 747-400 freighter arriving from Miami. Miami, happy to be here. If you are happy to be here with us as well, don't forget to drop a like if you haven't already. Well, we are going to see the KLM land first. We should be in time. Emirates, Singapore. Was a nice combo shot there just now. Now it is on the glide slope. The gear is already lowered. And behind this tree is the Singapore 747. Which we will see soon enough. Right, let's skip the airplane before the KLM 747 and just focus on the second queen of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Number 7 on flight radar, tracked by 492 people. KLM cargo, operated by Martin Air Holland. Boeing 747-400 freighter, arriving from Miami, Florida. Let's get it a little bit closer by and pixelate it with digital zoom. 7 hours and 34 minutes underway. 20-year-old airplane, the BHCKC. What you're picking up on the mic is an A320neo from EasyJet. Alan says, catch you later, legend, and have a good night. I hope you will stick around until the 747s have landed. Otherwise, you are silly. And that is a euphemism. Right, Windstorm's dad, one of the pilots on board. Indeed, Debbie, beautiful Miami beach in Florida. Also in the meantime, Emirates and Singapore. What a timing. Yeah, gotta move with haste. The number 2 on flight radar, tracked by no less than 1,864 people, of which only a small fraction is watching AMS live right now. The number 2 on flight radar, arriving from Chennai in India, Singapore Airlines cargo, flight 7374. 10 hours and 14 minutes underway, 20-year-old airplane, first flight February 2004. And the lighting today at this time of day is perfect to see the livery in its full glory. Beautiful. The buildings are nearby. You can see the distortion. Two 747s landing nearly simultaneously. Let's pick that up over there. I think you might be right, Marissa. Beautiful. Now, Evan also in the chat. What up, mate? Hope you were in time to see both the 747s land just now. Thank you so much for your super sticker, mate. 100 underlined twice. Well, absolutely. 200 underlined twice. Actually, 2 747s nearly simultaneously. What a great show. Right. Now, in the meantime, a lot of narrow bodies are coming in. We have a Turkish A330-200 arriving from Istanbul that is still expected pretty shortly. Yeah. Narrow bodies, narrow bodies, narrow bodies, narrow bodies, narrow bodies. I think that the rest is quite boring. Singapore is going to come back. Still has the taxi to probably on the right hand side. So there's probably enough time to also see the Turkish A330 land while that happens. So let's at least stick around for that. Adi is going to start dinner. That's a good idea, mate. That's something I should also do once I'm done. Leo, goedenavond. Hope you were in time to see both 747s just now. The KLM is over there. Meanwhile, Embraers are coming in. The beautiful airplane. Now, Evan, once again, thank you so much for your super sticker, mate. 100 underlined twice, absolutely. Were you there long already? Well, afternoon stream, indeed, not my preferred time. Had issues this morning starting the stream. Software said that I should check my internet connection while my internet connection was functioning perfectly fine. So I suspect it was an issue with the server of the software provider I'm using. Got resolved this afternoon, had a look on flight radar. Saw 3 747s in 2 hours time span arriving. Thought it's nice weather. If we're going out in the evening, why not today? Hey Peter, goedenavond. Michael, you're welcome. There it is, Singapore Airlines. Oh, is it turning in because it is coming this way? I think that is what might be happening here. And Keanu says that China Southern Cargo that I shot is heading to Polderbout for takeoff. Yeah, it has to continue delivering its parcels at some point. Finn Air, you night owl. Catch some Z's. Thanks for joining, mate. Hope you won't have to get up too early tomorrow. Hey Ton. Vince, I'm going to finish the stream pretty soon. And Ton, I won't be out tomorrow. streaming cost me too much time, so I'm taking the Mondays off for the time being. Also too warm tomorrow, I think. Best of luck to those who do want to go out and stream tomorrow. We have a Turkish Airlines. Keep my airways and my airlines mixed up. Got them mixed up. Got Turkish still coming. Arriving from Istanbul, now number 2 for Alsmeerban. In the meantime, Singapore looks like it is coming this way. Although now it looks like it is holding short. Now she's moving again. Meanwhile, Turkish is also getting closer by. Turkish A330 arriving from Istanbul. Too far to the right. There we go. This Turkish Airlines flight 6559 A330 200. For some reason, number 9 on flight radar, tracked by 324 people. Turkish cargo A330 double chin. Alright. Lost you for a minute, but there she is. Still behind the fence. Actually looks quite tight, the maneuvering. as if it is on the deck of an aircraft carrier. JK asks what camera I'm using. I'm using an XA40 right now, and I also have an XA60 that now is under repair. More or less the same camera, but the XA60 has a brighter screen. The rest is more or less the same. There she is. That's her spot for now. So the Singapore Airlines 747 has also arrived on her parking place. Her taxi has come to an end, and so too has an end come to this stream. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. I had a wonderful night out, and I hope you guys liked it as well. If you haven't already, don't forget to drop another like, subscribe if you want to stay informed of upcoming live streams in the future. A big thank you to everybody for your support, the likes, the super stickers, the super chats, the gifted memberships, becoming a member yourself, etc, etc. Moderators, thank you so much for keeping the chat friendly and accessible. Hope to see you in the next one. Take it easy tomorrow. It's going to be a scorcher in the Netherlands. Take care and see you soon. Bye for now.